All right, I get a lot of questions about the herniated disc and the effect that our treatment has on healing on the tear. Because sometimes what happens is the disc will actually tear. Sometimes it'll bulge or it'll stretch, but sometimes it tears all the way through. And the question is, if you have a tear, can the tear heal? And there's a lot of misinformation or information on the internet that is wrong. And a lot of what we talk about, and the reason we do these, is so first of all you understand you can get better, and our goal is to offer you hope, but at the same time our goal is to offer you the science. And the science, the scientific literature, says that you can heal the herniated disc tear. And the tear is usually in the annulus. We do these videos so you know that you can get better and that there is a way out. And we have a pathway out. My vision and my mission is to eliminate back pain. You do not have to have it. Okay, the only reason you have it is because you're not doing the right thing to fix it. Or the doctor you're seeing doesn't know how to fix it. Or sometimes they tell you it's in your head, which is ridiculous. Every back pain has a cause. The key is to figure out what's causing your back pain and eliminate the cause. And it's the same thing when you get the disc to heal. When you get the annulus to heal, the tear to heal, you have to make sure you do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, it's obviously not going to heal. So the key is what is necessary to make it heal. First of all, let's talk about why they tear. We've talked about this before. One vertebrae on top of the other. The disc is in between. You've seen these pictures probably 1,000 times. The disc is like a jelly donut in the sense that the outside of the disc, there's a thick material. Inside the disc, there's a jelly. And the tearing that you get in the disc is in the annulus, in the outer portion, which is the cartilage. Sometimes what happens is you can overload a certain portion of the cartilage. There's an overloading of the outer tissues of the annulus, and what happens when you overload it, the nucleus pushes out. And as the nucleus pushes out, you develop a little bulging disc. Well, there's a little tear that'll develop. You'll get tears in between the fibers. It's called a concentric tear, but you also get a radial tear that tears on the way out. It's tearing on the way out, and as it tears on the way out, you'll develop what's called a little fissure, a little opening, and through that opening is where the nucleus migrates. So it starts with a little tear. Sometimes it tears further, what we call prolapse or herniated disc, and sometimes it tears all the way through to the outside. And the question, and the questions I get about why people have back pain are the same reason it's not healing in the tear. So they're connected. If you're doing something that makes you worse, then you're aggravating the problem and you're preventing the healing. There's a lot of different exercises on the internet about how to fix your back pain. The problem is not everybody's the same. So if you go out and you get general information about how to solve a back problem, if you have a general problem, it might work for you. But we know from our experience that not everybody is the same. Matter of fact, everybody's different, and sometimes they're a lot different. Sometimes they're exact opposite ends of the spectrum of what to do. Sometimes they tell you to do this activity, it'll actually make it worse. Or it may have made this patient better. So the key is, what is the problem? But back to the tear. So these tears, if you unload the disc properly and don't do the things that made it worse in the beginning, then you will heal. And they will heal eventually with what we call gristle. What is gristle? Gristle is cartilage. It's a tough, fibrous cartilage. It'll heal in here. It's type 1 and type 2 collagen fibers will form in there and hold it all together. Okay? The longer you've had the problem and the more tearing and the more aggravation, the longer it takes to heal. But they will heal, and they will heal with cartilage. Okay, gristle. Studies say it will heal. So if you do the right things, and the key to all this is doing the right thing. So the answer to the patient's question was, will it heal? The answer is yes, it will heal, but you have to do the right thing. We've seen these MRIs. Okay? This is before the treatment. This is after the treatment. Same thing. I know you've seen these, and we're not going to go over all of them, before and after, but they will get better. The herniated discs get better, and they will heal. But the key is, how do you get them to heal properly? What is necessary to make them heal? We have a 10-step process. And the 10-step process is designed to make sure it heals properly, and then it's stronger when you're done and you know what to do to make sure it doesn't come back. Because the reason people want to know, is it going to heal, is because they don't want it to come back. If you've ever had this problem, and I had it for a long time, you don't ever want it to come back. And the reason you don't want it to come back is the effect it has in your life. Back pain prevents you from living your life. It can get to the point where life isn't worth living anymore if the pain's that bad. I've seen it with patients. Okay? There's a story in one of our published studies was about a patient who had fusion surgery and got worse afterward and couldn't take it anymore. Okay? But part of this process, part of this pathway, is solving why you have the problem. We have to identify what is causing your problem. Everybody's different. So the first step really is to understand your problem. And if you've watched my videos, you understand your problem. And then we assess why you have your pain. What things make you better, what things make you worse. Very, very, very important. Okay? If you did an activity in the past that made you worse, it doesn't mean that you should have been doing that activity. Sometimes people say, oh, I want to do that again. Well, maybe you should have never done that. Okay? The spine is designed to do very specific things. And if you make it do things that really it's not designed to do for too long, it's going to break down. So we eliminate the cause. We have you avoid the activities that make it worse, which is really what the top 10 tips are. If you've seen my top 10 tips, those are really about what to do to make sure you're not aggravating the problem. And then we have you stabilize the spine. What does that mean? Okay? Too much of this, okay, too much flexion causes a breakdown of the cartilage. Okay? If you don't have to do this, we have you avoid it. We have you bend with your hips. That's the hip hinge. Okay? We also create stability in your spine, so the muscles are holding as they should. That's the stabilizers. Okay? We work with your posture. Posture overloads the discs. Poor posture, not good posture. Good posture does not load the discs, and we typically have you on a walking program. Okay? Walking is very good for activating the muscles and getting the blood to flow and facilitating stability of the spine. One of the reasons we have more back pain now than ever in the history of the planet is because we sit too much. Sitting's not good for the spine. Too much sitting causes the disc to break down. We have you a daily routine of what you need to do. It's not hard. Okay? It's really simple things. If you do them every day, you will get better and you will get healing of your annulus. We have you work with your shoulders and your hips, because if they're not working, you're overloading the spine. They have to work, and they have to work together. Shoulders and hips are actually part of your core. People say core like it's this muscle right here. It's not just this muscle. It's everything that connects to it. Okay, shoulders and hips. It's all connected. Nutrition, very important. Okay, if it's overinflamed, if you have too much inflammation, we have you use anti-inflammatories, but we have you use natural anti-inflammatories. The goal is not to take non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, okay, because those are not always very good. Sometimes they cause heart attacks. Okay? And then we put you on a lifetime program. But the key is what caused the tearing of the annulus. We have to work with the hips, we have to work with the muscles, we have to work with the core, we have to work with the shoulders, we have to work with your posture. We have to make sure the vertebrae are doing what they should be doing. It can heal. Okay? And you can do what you want to do. We've had weightlifters who are squatting 300-400 pounds who blew out their disc and they go back to squatting again. Because everything's healed properly. And their biomechanics are good and solid and strong, and they have strength and endurance. I talk about endurance a lot. Endurance is the muscles holding for an extended period of time. Okay? We can help people. We can help you. The goal is hope. If you like what you hear, I want you to like it. Subscribe to our channel. Share our information. A lot of people have no idea what we do, or they have no idea that they can get better. Share our information and ask questions. The more questions, the better. So the answer is yes, you can get healing to the annulus when it tears. The tear can heal through gristle. Type 1, type 2, collagen fibers. We can help. Call this number. If you have any questions, give us a call. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Again, if you're having problems with the disc, we can help.